What's going on, you guys? So last time we left off, we were working on the rear fan shroud for the car. Now I got some fans in, so I figured why not do a video on installing those and cutting the shroud out and getting them mounted up. So where we left off last is basically we got the shroud cut, bent up, welded up, got mount brackets and everything made for it. Now we just got to cut the holes in the sides there. Oh, I kind of mounted the rear bumper too. I really forgot how ugly this rear bumper is. Definitely gonna need to do something about that. Anyways, let's get this shroud pulled off, get it up on the bench, and start figuring out where we need to cut it. Okay, so I didn't buy the fans that I wanted to get for it because the fans I want to get are like 150 bucks each, but I figured I could at least get some fans mounted, so I found the ones that were the right size and, you know, had similar mounting points to the ones that I want to get. So I bought these off Amazon. They're supposedly rated for 2,000 CFM each. Unlikely. I'd be lucky if they're like 800 each. I've used these in the past and they're not that good. So fans are definitely something you want to spend the money on. But the whole reason that I bought them was because I figured it'd be better off to at least have something to kind of get it lined up and, you know, get the holes cut, you know, get all my measurements and everything. So it's at least something I can get done. So I figured I'd buy these. They were only like $40 for the pair. So, you know, it's worth it to just do some test fitting on. And while I was in the process of buying fans, I also got a smaller one for my oil cooler, and this one should be sufficient for the oil cooler. I really can't fit much of a bigger fan than this on it anyways, so that one should work for the oil cooler. It actually feels more heavy duty and robust than the bigger fans. So, but that's usually not everything. Anyways, let's get this thing lined up and figure out where we need to cut it. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to tape the fan in the spot where I need it, and then I'm going to go ahead, trace an outline around the outside diameter of the fan. And then to cut it, I'm probably going to go about a ½ inch inside of my line, and then do a second circle, and then cut around that line. And I'm sure you guys can probably hear the background noise. Sounds like a generator. Yeah, I apologize for that. You know, this video is going to be a little noisy. Sometimes there's nothing I can do about stuff like that. My roommate's power washing our back deck right now, so this is going to be a noisy video. Actually, you know what? Since it's going to be a noisy video and there's going to be background noise here, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to set the camera up and go to work on this, and we'll just do a time-lapse video on it. So let's get started. Okay, and there it is. Holes cut, fans mounted. Well, fans kind of mounted. So these come with those fan mount kits. I guess they're the zip ties like this, the ones that pass through, and then they have the little pieces that kind of little rings that snap onto the other side of them. Well, they kept breaking. I didn't have a single one that actually held in place. I could just give it a little bit of a tug and the whole thing would pop back off. So, temporary fix, I just kind of threw zip ties on it. So, I mean, it'll mount it good enough for now. When I get the proper fans on it, you know, I might have to change the mounting on it or whatever. I mean, a couple holes in the shroud if I need to change them, whatever, no big deal. Nothing a little bit of gaff tape can't fix. But yeah, let's go ahead and get it thrown back in the car now. All right, I got the fan shrouds mounted in. And with the fans on there, it actually looks pretty good. So what I gotta do now, I gotta go ahead and wire this up. I already have the circuit wired into the relay box that is tucked up in there. So the circuit and everything is already ran. I already have a connector ran down there. I just need to tie the wires together and put a connector in on it, and it's good to go. Not gonna do that today because yeah, I'm running out of daylight. So actually, I think I'm gonna put the trunk lid on since I have the trunk. And while we have some daylight, let's take a look at what this will look like with that center part opened up with the trunk on, especially now that we have the bumper on. Because I have not even seen it like that with the bumper on outside of this garage yet. So, let's do that real quick. Well, unfortunately it has gotten a little bit dark out here, so with the lighting in the garage, you can't really see much. I have an idea. I have one of my LED light strips right here. So I have this LED light strip right here. Pop this off. So these are the circuits that I'm running for all the accessory lighting. So maybe if I plug this into the light strip I have back here, we can light it up and see how it looks. So this is the circuit for the party lights, as I call all of my accessory lighting. Doing this with one hand is kind of difficult. So there. And I'm just gonna stick this up here real quick. Okay, so I put the strip in the back, plugged it in. I don't really think those LEDs are too bright though, so I'm not really sure. That's headlights. All right, those are my party lights. So those go to the halos. Let's see if we can. So they're the halo switch. And then what that switch also does is it goes to every single connector on the car like this, that's black and orange wire on it. So I got one of those circuits there. I got one in every wheel well of the car. There, there, and there. And then I have one in the back. So that is not bright at all. Yeah, those LEDs either need a lot more or that might just be a really terrible spot for it. Oh darn. Yep, can't really tell at all. Too bad we missed out on the daylight. I mean, I guess get a little bit of it right there, but God, that rear bumper is so ugly though. I'm gonna need to do something about that. You can actually see it better with the garage door shut right now because the lights are so bright in here. But it doesn't look bad. I'm thinking what I might do also is cut out something into this, adding like some vents. Maybe do something in the bumper too. I just really hate the look of this rear bumper. I think it is god-awful ugly, and it's just such a boring shape to the back of the car. Like the front just looks so mean and aggressive. It's like, yeah. And then it's like, oh. It's just so fucking ugly. Actually, you know what? Since I have the fans installed, I'm gonna run a jumper wire to those fans since the battery is right there and hook it up just to see how good those fans actually work. So I have them hooked up, just kind of jump wired in, positives hooked up. Actually moves a decent amount of air. So it definitely moves a decent amount of air. I still think 2000 CFM is bullshit, but it's not bad. Let's try one more test real quick. Well, it's enough to hold a rag to it. Let's see if it's actually being pulled through or it's just being stuck on though. So let's see what happens when I disconnect it. It's a good sign, I guess. Anyways, that's going to be it for this one, you guys. So, like the video if you liked it. Maybe I'll start trying to get on top of doing some more actual like progress build style videos. Yeah, so like it if you liked it. Maybe I'll get around to doing more of that. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Follow the build along. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.